Hey guys.
Hey you, can I learn your flavor? It's brand new, now it's in the paper.
Okay, first of all, I'm really sorry about this. I'm not feeling great right now. My stomach is killing me right now. I look fine, but I swear an hour ago I was laying on that bed crying because I was in so much pain. My stomach just hurts a lot, but it's doing a lot better and I kind of just want to distract myself, so I decided to do a video so I can focus on something else. So I'm going to be telling you guys the story of how I failed my driving test. So I did practice driving after I got my permit around May, but not too much because, you know, it was finals week, I was graduating, and then June came and I went on vacation and I got lazy basically. I didn't want to practice driving, and also I was terrified of going behind the wheel, but I had no other choice. Eventually I was gonna have to start driving, so I was like, okay, whatever, let's go. So before I started practicing with my dad, he got me an instructor so that way I could feel more comfortable, because he would have the brakes on his side, so that way in case if I'm about to run over someone, we could avoid that. But my instructor was so cool. He was so chill. If I messed up, he would just laugh. He would like,
oh, haha, you forgot to look.
Like, he wouldn't get mad at me. He would just kind of like, he understood. He was like my best friend. We were having a great time. We were having conversations. I felt so comfortable. I didn't feel scared. He just made me feel safe. But yeah, he told my dad, considering it was my first time actually driving on the streets, I did pretty well. So yeah, that made me really excited. So yeah, in total it was 3 lessons with him, so that is 6 hours. He told me that he was gonna book the appointment for me, so I didn't have to worry about that, but he told me it was gonna be in September. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm fine with that. Like, I need my practice. I need 2 months to practice. 2 months went by and I didn't practice one bit. Okay, I'm over exaggerating. I did practice a little, like here and there, but for 2 months it was nothing. Like, and then a week before my test, I was like, shoot, like it just hit me. I need to practice. I think I hear footsteps in my house, so I'm probably about to die right now, but that's okay. I was practicing driving to school and I was practicing on the freeway. It was, yeah, and I felt pretty good. So, but before the test, I was still feeling not so confident. So we called up my instructor and we're like, hey, can we do another appointment? Because I just want to make sure that everything's good, you know? And he was like, okay, yeah. Day before your exam, we'll do another lesson. So I was like, cool, awesome, I'll be ready. Day before my exam, this guy did not show up. I was getting ready and I was so excited to drive with him because this is my pal. This is my best friend. I missed him. Like, I actually missed him. So I was really excited to hop in the car with him and just start driving. I'm still hurt to this day. He didn't show up. I thought he was my homie. I thought he was just as excited as I was to drive around together, but I guess not, because he was running a little bit late. So we called him and we were like, hey, well, what time are you coming? You know, you were supposed to be here, huh? And then he was like,
oh my gosh, I forgot.
and then we're like, are you coming or what? And he was like, no, she's good enough. Like, she's ready for the test. She doesn't need another lesson. And I was like, great. Now I'm nervous. We went to the DMV. I practiced around a little bit more before my appointment. Got in line, the examiner went in the passenger seat, and I was ready to go. And let me tell you, I was doing so great. I felt like I was doing perfect. My turns were awesome. I was looking like that, checking all my surroundings. Every time I braked, it was like so smooth, and the course was so easy. My parallel parking was great. I was reversing and it was perfect. It was just going amazing. And then, I don't know why I did this. I came to an intersection and the light was red and I stopped, right? Red light, I stopped before, you know, the crosswalk. But my brain, maybe I was like too relaxed, so I got too comfortable behind the wheel, but I inched forward a little bit. I wasn't gonna go and I passed like the crosswalk, and my examiner freaked out. He was like,
No.
It's a red light.
and I was like, yeah, like I wasn't gonna go, but he thought I was gonna go. So that was an automatic fail. I was doing so perfect, and because I inched forward, I had failed my test. And honestly, it didn't bother me. We went back to the DMV. He told me that I failed. I was okay. I was like, you know what? It's not a big deal. But my dad, he came to the car and he looked so excited. And I was like, and he was like, and he was getting in the car. And then I was like, no, I failed. And he was like, oh. So yeah, And I was pretty chill. I was like, you know, it's not a big deal. Maybe I just need more practice. Maybe it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe God did this for a reason. Like, hey, I'm gonna fail you because you're not ready to drive yet. So I was kind of seeing the positive sides. And then I got home and I cried my eyes out. Why? Because I'm dramatic. And to calm myself down, I looked up on YouTube, I failed my driving test, because I wanted to be like relatable, like, oh, me too, I failed too. So I saw other people crying on their videos because they failed. So that made me feel a lot better. It was really sad telling my boyfriend that I failed. I was crying. I was texting him and I was like,
I failed. I didn't do it.
I wasn't crying because I failed my exam. I was crying because the next appointment was
in December.
So the reason why I was crying is because I was thinking that me inching forward costed me months, 3 months of waiting, and that got me frustrated. I was so mad. And I told my instructor, his name is Mr. Towel, not Towel, Towo. I told Mr. Towel that I failed, which was really heartbreaking because I didn't want him to be disappointed in me. You know, he was like a second dad. I told him that I had to wait until December, and he was like, oh no, you don't have to wait until December. Just keep refreshing the page for the appointments, and if someone cancels, it'll pop up there. And if you grab it quick enough, you'll get it. Okay, so what do you want me to do? Sit in front of a computer for 24 hours just refreshing? So I did that. I was doing that for about an hour and I was about to give up. But then there it was, another appointment in 3 days. I was like, I didn't even think about it. I just took it. I didn't care. I was way more nervous the second time because my confidence level just shot down after failing, you know? I was so nervous. I was a wreck. My hands were shaking. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I don't know why I was so nervous. I'm usually really good at, you know, being chill. And if I am nervous, I'm good at hiding it. But this time I couldn't hide it. Like, my dad noticed that I was like pretty nervous. I got a lady. She wasn't mean, but she wasn't nice. I started driving and I was doing really bad. Because I was so nervous, my turns were a little like shaky. I kept forgetting to look when I was like turning on an intersection. She told me to turn into a neighborhood. So I stopped at a stop sign and there was a car pretty far away, but I wanted to wait until it passed me because I was so nervous, but it was taking pretty long. And I was just sitting there and the lady next to me was like, what are we waiting for? And I was like, oh, I just want to make sure that the car passes by me first. But yeah, I just did so bad. So when we came back to the D&D, I was like, that's it. I failed. I know for sure I failed. There's no way I passed. I did horrible. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna go over your mistakes. This was bad, this was bad, this was bad, this was pretty bad. You did good on this, but this was bad. I was like, oh my gosh, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, but you did good, you passed. And I was like, what? I did horrible. Like, what do you mean I passed? She was like, you got a lot of mistakes, but you made it. And I was like, oh shoot. Okay, so she left and I told my dad that I passed and he gave me high five. So I am licensed. I know that this title says I failed my driving test, but technically it's not clickbait because I did. It's just that I passed the second time. That is it for this video and I'll see you guys next time.
Take your time, there's something about the love of things you like.